All right, so the other station we did was this little tackling and blocking station, and the kids, the way we did it was each kid had the same partner every practice. That's just how we did it. Okay, and then if your partner wasn't there that day, you just come straight over to the coach. Maybe there's two kids with no partner, they can match up for that day, or you could mix in a three-person group. But basically, we just say, okay, they line up facing each other and they're pretty close. They're like, a yard, 2 yards maybe away from each other, and then they want to be, somewhat, 4 or 5 yards apart sideways. So we would say, okay, you just designate, okay, these guys are the ball carrier, and every day you do the same exact routine, so that way they get it and you're not wasting any time. Okay, these guys are the ball carrier. All right, to the left, ready, go. And then they pretend like they're holding the ball in their left hand. They don't need to be carrying a ball. What these guys do, these guys are the tacklers, and then they go boom, and they wrap up and form tackle. However you want to teach tackling, I never said helmet in front. I know now they're getting away from that. They're doing the rugby tackle with helmet in the back. I'm not a big fan of that either, but I tell them to drive their nose through the center mass, because what happens is you can teach it however you want, watch videos, and the best thing to do is be up to date on the most current tackling techniques, that way, because your ass is always on the line out there with liability. But the way I would do it, I would say center, just drive through their center mass, because if we, okay, back in the old day, we say helmet in front, sometimes the ball carrier would be leaning over, drastically. You really can't. And then for him to get his helmet in front, he'd have to kind of lean. It becomes like an unsound, gets himself into an unsound position. But if I just tell him that, drive your nose through center mass, or drive your chest through center mass, then they could always figure it out, and they don't feel obligated to get their head one way or the other. To me, heading back, I'm not going to make any comments. Go ahead. I would just do my research on that. Rugby tackling, it seems to be the newest stuff. I mean, it's been around now for a while, but that seems to be the newest and safest stuff, unless somebody's teaching something different. But I think you're also kind of, if you they might misinterpret that as an arm tackle, where they're in like kind of like a chase mode, and they're just kind of, but they're young, so that might be fine, whatever. I like driving chest through body. I really want that body to body contact. I'm not concerned about, they're gonna, as far as their head goes, there's, their instincts of self-preservation is going to kick in. You just, you could, tell them, obviously you want to tell them, don't get their helmet in their way, or get their head, lead with their head or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, maybe I contradict myself. Maybe, because they have their helmet on, maybe they will use their helmet as a weapon, and be liable to do something unsafe. So, anyways, teach safety. But anyways, this would be your tackle to the right. Boom. Everybody does that. So, okay, now go to the right. Because we always tell the ball carrier the direction. Okay, so this was to the left, ball carrier's left. Next time, okay, all right, go to the right. Boom. And they go the other way. Boom, boom. Tackle that way. And we always want them to kind of, we want to teach them to kind of launch up and through, and wrap, and drive drive our feet. And then the way we teach this too is that I want to get into that tackle. I want to dominate their outside hip right here. I want to dominate that outside hip. I don't want to get in a situation where after contact, I get into a trail position. Okay, I want to drive my feet through the outside hip to where I'm like dominating that, dominate, dominate that. You almost end up going backwards. But you just tell them run their feet through the drill, or run their feet through contacts. However you want to coach it. Teaching tackling can be kind of tricky. It can be kind of tricky, but we just focus on body to body contact, and driving our feet, and try to dominate. The third and fourth grade, I don't know. Dominating the outside hip is something that's gonna, they're going to understand that, but you have to kind of experiment and see what works. But so that's what we would do, and then then we'd say, okay, these guys are the ball carriers now, and you say, okay, to the right, and then they go to the right, and then these guys would tackle, and then okay, to the left, and then ball carriers to the left, and have it all coordinated. Okay, and then after we did that, they would get into 3-man groups. But I never did like, even when I was a kid, I never liked the where these guys just stood there and these guys would like form tackle while these guys are standing there. I just never liked that because you want to use the ball carrier's momentum against them. The force of their momentum, you can kind of like get your hips underneath that or to stop that. But when they're just standing there with their arms up, it's kind of hard. It's just weird because you're not using they're not applying any force, so it's kind of you're leaning over, or it becomes like a phony tackle. So this is really a low contact, but there is some movement and it's body on body. And if you could use pads, if these kids, the ball carrier could have a pad on their inside arm. That I like body on body, and they're really close. I keep it even in high school. We kept the guys really close. And actually, what we would do is we would tell them to go full out, not tackle, like bring it to the ground or anything like that, but we would say, go as hard as you can. You don't want to start that way. We'd say go as hard as you can, but we would regulate the the impact by the distance, by keeping them pretty close. Okay. So I mean, if you say go as hard as you can, you're back here, it could be a different story. So, anyways, that's what we would do. And then we'd say get in our 3-man groups. And again, well, this is what we did. You don't have to do this, because we would practice our double teams on that, and we would have other 3-man groups where they're doing the same thing every day. So these three would always work together. These three would always work together, and we work on our double teams that way. And if we had a 4-man group, then they would just work itself in. Okay, so we'd go like counterclockwise. You could teach it however you want, but okay, this is this spot. After this guy's here, then he comes out. This guy moves to the defender. This guy moves over. The next guy that was waiting moves here. Okay. And we just rotate until everybody gets a turn. And we teach our double teams how we teach our double teams. But that's how we did it. You could just turn into a one-man, one-on-one blocking drill, however you want to do it. If you want to use hands, get into it, maybe, a way you could teach it is like, get into your fit. Okay, get into your fit, have your hands on, hips low, and then just say, okay, drive, and then just drive. And this guy would kind of let the defender would let the offensive guy win. I'm just kind of thinking on the fly if you want to teach this one-on-one blocking. But we would do this a blocking and tackling drill. So these 3 drills we would do at the beginning of every practice. So we would warm up and then go straight to our stations, and every kid go to the same station, same station every practice. Okay. So let's go over this real quick. So the way we would have it would be like, let's see here. So we would have the county fair would happen over here. Okay. And then we would have our blocking and tackling, maybe, over here somewhere out of the way. And then our shoot chicken will line up right here, heading that way. Or I'm just kind of thinking, I can't, honestly, my memory's failing me. That I think that's how we did it, something like that. But it was far enough away. Shoot Chicken was far enough away from county fair that we weren't concerned with the ball carrier running into it. So we might have it like, maybe Shoot Chicken down here, blocking and tackling here. So we would break out. These kids would go here, from here they go to here, from here they go to here, or whatever. Have a rotation. It's always the same. Always go to the same station. That way, you look like you're organized. The kids know what they're doing. They're moving. They're practicing. The basic thing we try to do, and this is just what we did, but the basic thing we would try to do, the general concept was just we can't teach everything in the game, but just pick out the things that are most important and work on those things in the very beginning, and really try to get good at a few things. And so that stuff served us well. The shoot chick was great for ball leverage. That way, when you're in team defense, and if you even watch, I don't know if you're going to watch film with third and fourth graders, but when you're in team defense and you're talking about these situations, you're the force guy, you're a ball guy, you're a cutback guy. They understand this because they do it every single day, and they get the gist of it. Are they going to make mistakes? Yeah. Is the other team might have a talented ball carrier, and they might beat the system? Yeah, it happens. So we try to always remind them too is that a great ball carrier is going to beat the system sometimes. That's fine. I don't want them afraid to make a mistake. I want them feeling confident and they know what their job is. And pressing the inside pad was something that we really stressed. That way it gives them something, a rule of thumb that they could be trying to do every moment on defense. During a play, they can always have a rule of thumb to guide their decisions and their positioning. So it was really good for us. Obviously, blocking and tackling is key, it's critical. I would mix that in however you want to do it. And then the county fair, just footwork, being general, athletes and stuff, and also discipline. Because like I said, they'll look at the cones. They'll want to round stuff off. They'll want to go all the way to the cone when you say you don't have to, they'll have to go around it and they'll start kicking stuff over and make it look sloppy. You want it to look clean and efficient. And they got to turn around, you know, and then the guy in front of him says go at the appropriate time. Um, now come to think of it, I might have tell him to say go as soon as the guy behind him uh made his break. However you want to do it. Main thing is clean and it's efficient. And the kids start getting confidence because they know exactly what's going on. Anyways, hopefully that helps. There are three stations we did. We did that for years at various levels. We even did it in JVs. It worked well for us. As the kids got older in varsity and stuff, we break it down into position specific drills and let them kind of go to their position coaches. But this was something that worked really well for us. So hopefully that helps, coach. Have fun, and let me know if you have any questions. All right.